be nothing. Nyosha miguu tu kama mzungu wa reli. Anybody is not making any impact. People are not to be one whom the Lord will use to touch their lives. And therefore we are responsible for our spiritual lives, and we should have more confidence in the equipping of God than in a spiritual anemic parent. I mean, we are supposed to be that confident that God will enable us. Now, you are not somebody, and you can learn from the other person, but you cannot be exactly like them. Be you. Be you. Don't be somebody else. Live in reality. You cannot be someone, and someone cannot be you. So accept who you are, and build that self-image and confidence. And that's why there is nobody who is exactly like you. You may be simple, they say how many people are met in life. Every individual has how many people resemble them? 7. But there is no one who is exactly like you. Timothy was his second string. He was Paul's representative, but he was not Paul. In 1 Corinthians, chapter number 4, if you read verse 16 and 17.
The Apostle Paul is saying,
wherefore I beseech you, be you followers of me. For this cause have I sent unto you Timotheus, who is my beloved son, and faithful in the Lord, who shall bring you into remembrance of my ways which be in Christ, as I teach everywhere in every church. You want to read also, read? Yes. Yeah, 4, 16 and 17.
I beg you then to follow my example. For this purpose I'm sending to you Timothy, who is my own dear and faithful son in the Christian life, who will remind you of the principles which I follow in the new life, in union with Jesus Christ, and which I teach in all the churches everywhere.
You go ahead, mtoto wa nyoka ni nyoka. We are like our Father, God. We are like Him. We are not fully like Him, but Bible study, and therefore we have to have the support of the Scriptures to enable us to have a good foundation and standing. Read, if you are there. 1 Timothy 6:20-21.
Timothy, keep safe what has been entrusted to your care. Avoid the profane talk and foolish arguments of what some people wrongly call knowledge. For some have claimed to possess it, and as a result, they have lost the way of faith.
Thank you. So Timothy had to be instructed to avoid certain conversations, mawasiliano mengine, and controversies, so that you will not be tempted to fall into false knowledge and serve from the faith that is foolish. So it's important that you know, as a young person, there are things that you need to avoid in life to be able to stand strong in your faith. You have to avoid them. In fact, you have to run away from them. Arguments that does not build.
you know, anybody,
Any Christian can fall into sin, but you don't have to live in sin. So there are things for your good. You are supposed to avoid them. Sometimes you have to flee those things. Run away. Don't give them attention and your time, because they may not be of good help to your life. In 2 Timothy 1 verse 8, it says, be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor of me his prisoner, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel, according to the power of God. And therefore, according to the Bible, the marks of a godly person is not someone who isn't tempted, but someone who chooses to obey God instead of giving into their desires.
I am a
Preacher. I love and like preaching and teaching on the grace of God. But as somebody said, for people to embrace the grace, they must be taught the law and the commandments and the precepts and the rules and the regulations that are in the Holy Scriptures, for them to have the happiness of challenging them to surrender to the grace of God. They must. There are things that are mentioned in Galatians that we are always challenged to avoid. Let me mention them for us. Galatians chapter number 5.
this then I say,
Walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. From verse 16. For the flesh lusted against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. But if you be led of the Spirit, you are not under the law, meaning you are under grace. And then mentions, now the works of the flesh are manifest. They are clear, which are adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envies, murderers, drunkenness, revelings, and such like expression. So there are things that for you to serve your God. So despite your inner desire for the things of this world, God will use you. And therefore receive those things, all those desires, and trust in Him. Number 5, he had health issues. He had health issues. Alikuwa na changamoto ya kiafya. I don't know how many of you, how many of us have health issues. Ukiuliza ni nani hapa ambaye si mgonjwa kabisa, ana hata homa, utashangaa. Hii mili saa zingine inaingiliwa. So Timothy pia alikuwa na shida ya kiafya. Ukisoma katika Timothy wa kwanza 5, Paulo ndiye anamshauri na understanding. And now that one you can read 5:23 of 1 Timothy. We are learning lessons from this disciple of Jesus, his follower, this Matetes, this young man who was always a student of Jesus. Yes.
Do not drink water only, but take a little wine to help your digestion, since you are ill so often.
Repeat that one.
Do not drink water only, but take a little wine to help your digestion, since you are ill so often.
As we have many people base their drinking. They say even the Bible says, you can take a little wine. But are you taking a little wine because you have health issues? Okay?
so
For Paul to Timothy, that kind of wine was medicinal. It would serve as a medicine for his health. And therefore, regardless of your physical condition, God can use you for His glory. The challenging question is whether you are willing. So long as you have breath in your lungs, God is not done with you. It doesn't matter what you are facing, your challenges, your condition. And the conditions are never permanent. Even when you are praying for that one to leave you, and it doesn't, His grace is sufficient. So there are people who turn against God because of what they are going through. And of course, they allow the enemy to minister and preach to them. in those very circumstances, to show you that God is the bad one and is the one who is against you, is the one who is inflicting you with that problem. But I can tell you it's a lie. You can still be used of the Lord. Number 6, he was young for his role. Timothy, exact age isn't given, but we know that Paul had to encourage him not to allow others to look down upon him, as he brought reformation to the church in Ephesus. And that is why we have this favorite text for the young people in 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 12. Let no one despise thy youth, but be thou an example to the believers in speech, in conduct, that's what we are told, in love, in faith, and in purity. Be thou an example. I did mention that we are to allow people, when they are pointing fingers to us, they are giving us as a good example, not as a warning, but as an example for others to follow. And we can do it because we have all the potential, the ability, and God has given what it takes for us to live a life that will glorify God.
So being young
does not stop God from using you.
he used a young slave girl
In Naaman's home, in a foreign land, for him to be healed.
when this
Great man, a leader in the army, and nowhere to turn to. It is this damsel who told the wife to Naaman, tell your husband, there is a man of God in Israel. Let him go for his healing. And of course, when he agreed and obeyed, things were not the same with him. Number 7, he hadn't figured it out. He hadn't figured it out.
he still needed instruction.
So even when he was into his ministry, friends, we need sometimes people to talk to us. You need to be oriented. You need to be advised. Because sometimes when you are into ministry, or you are into serving God, whether it is the music industry, whether you are a good preacher or teacher of the word, whether it is an administration, whatever you are doing, you need those of you, of us who are ahead, and who have walked the walk, and who have experience, and who have lived longer than us, to be able sometimes to instruct us.
You don't have to have the
Answers, but have no excuses or feelings of inadequacy from fulfilling God's call. Usijidunishe katika hali yoyote, hata wakati hauna majibu. You know, becoming a believer, a true Christian, is risk taking. You don't know what is ahead of you. You unaingia wapi? And you know, living by faith is a big challenge. It's not living by sight. At least kuna vitu utaona. Lakini maisha ya wokovu, unaingia tu na Mungu anasema wewe ni amini. Nitatembea na wewe. Nitakuinua. Eti nitakupigania, nitakubariki, nitakulinda, nitakutetea. Lakini unashindwa haji sasa na sioni. Because imani huwezi guza, huwezi nusa, huwezi smell bayana ya mambo yasiyoonekana. In again 1 Timothy chapter 3,
verse
14 and 15, these things write I unto thee, hoping to come unto thee shortly. But if I tarry, this is Paul again to Timothy, long, that thou may know how thou ought to behave thyself in the house of God, which is the church of the living God, the pillar and ground of faith.
so he's giving him
Those instructions. But and then lesson number 8, I'm almost bringing to the end. He had a heart for God. And moyo wako kulikuwa kwa Mungu. Look at how Paul describes him to the church in Philippi or Philippians chapter 2. If you read verse 19, 22. Timothy had been touched by God's grace. So therefore he had a heart for God. Una moyo kwa Mungu. Mungu alikuwa amependa Mungu kabisa mpaka amejiachilia kwake. Philippians, I said 2:19 to 21. Read if you are there, and then we move so that we don't eat somebody's time. What does it say? Walakini, yes.
Walakini natumaini katika Bwana Yesu kumtuma Timotheo afike kwenu karibu. Nifarijiwe na mimi. Nikijua hali yenu, maana sina mtu mwingine mwenye nia moja nami atakayeangalia hali yenu kweli kweli. Tujua maana wote wanatafuta vyao wenyewe, sivyo vya Kristo Yesu.
Unasikia hiyo man? Read in English. Thank you, Neema.
He is the only one who shares my feelings.
He is the only one who shares my feelings. Among many youth, he identifies Timothy as one who is like him.
And who really cares about you.
He cares. You know, pause a minute. And they say in life, people don't care how much you know. People don't care how much you have until they see how much you care. In the Church of Christ, people don't care how much you have traveled, how educated you are. But then people don't care how much you have amassed property. People don't care how you are a good orator, you can speak well, you are a man or woman of diction. You choose the right word to use and you can flow. You can be a very good public speaker. You move with people, you can... people don't care until they see how much you care.
So Paul is telling
the believers will be saying Timothy to that this man called Timothy, he cares about you. We need to care. My young brothers and sisters, before, even as a leader, you touch people's pockets, make sure you touch their heart. Don't touch people's pockets before you can touch their heart. Or things are not happening well to their life and you say, it is none of my business. We are our brothers' keepers. We are our sisters' keepers. If we are not, then we are their killers. But we are supposed to care for each other. Continue, then finish as we sum up and finish.
All the others are concerned only with their own affairs.
The others are like that.
Of Jesus Christ.
Imagine. There are people who are so self-centered, so selfish. It is I, me, myself. But as Christians, we're not supposed to live like that. So Timothy knew he was not special. But he knew that he had a Savior who was special and who has made him to be special. You may look at yourself and maybe you may not see yourself.
Brother, to guide us on how to survive. Papa, sindio? Okay.
Thank you so much. Before we commence, please, I'm seeing some details here. Please, can I have one song? Is it? Yes. Please, come over. Thank you.
since we are going back, I'll ask you guys help me sing a hymn. Call it choristers. So what? Yes.
you say? Yeah, for them? One more time? Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure, having that skill. It's a huge skill. Playing guitar, playing piano, it's a skill. And, those are some of the things that we say as an entrepreneur, those opportunities for you to be able to develop yourself. And, you can put some change in your pocket. So, we shall begin today's session with a word of prayer. Let's go down and pray. Lord, who art in heaven, we humble ourselves to you once more. We thank you that we are gathered here today. As we are congregated here, Lord, we ask you that you lead us and guide us. Be with us wherever we're going to learn, wherever we're going to teach. The interaction, Lord, lead us. Guide us and bless us. So Jesus Christ, that we can pray. Thank you so much for being here today. Real for yourself for making it here. One more time. Thank you. God has blessed us. We are lucky that we are here. Before I commence, actually, I have 2 gifts here. I want to give them out. Where's that list of mine? Please. I have some gifts here that I want to give out. It's important that I give out to these young ladies and gentlemen. Vizuri, what we endelea to do what we call a recap of what we did yesterday. And throughout, it's important for us to remind ourselves jana tulifikia wapi and we really get what we learned yesterday. So a quick recap, we shall learn. So I can give out these 2 gifts. So one lady and one gentleman. The lady is Lydia Nyamoti. Where are you, Lydia? Good friend, are you? Please raise your hand. Lydia. Please come over. Leo lazima kuja hapa mbele ndio utoe gift yako. Si ndio? Lydia, how are you? Great friends.
How are you?
Lydia is with us, yeah? Oh, thank you. Give that microphone. Now, Lydia, please, if you can, you're in a position to be able to remind ourselves what we did yesterday. We want to develop an entrepreneurial mind. I have a gift for you, please. Just give me, how can you develop an entrepreneurial mindset? Just 2 steps. This is a calendar. And I want to give them for 2024. I want to give her this calendar. She just answered 2, not big. Right? This is a calendar for one of my companies. So I'm giving her so that she has been able to remember. Do you like it? Does it look good? Does it? This is for her. Lydia, please.
The question.
Sorry? Oh, I repeat it. She's now motivated, yeah? Lydia, I ask you to give me 2 steps as a youth that you can use to develop your entrepreneurial mindset. How can you develop an entrepreneurial mindset? Number 1? Lydia, number 1. This is yours.
Number 1, I can offer myself to start a project.
She says she starts a project, starting small ventures. Is it? Yeah, for her? One more time. All right. The second one.
Number 2,
Number two. This is yours. You two peke yake uchukue hii, sio? Please take her out. Take her out. Number two. What else can you do?
I can start a small business.
Yes, that is what you said the first time. The second one. Continuous learning. Continuous. This is yours. Real for her. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You do, Lydia, you do continuous learning. Endelea kusoma. Mahali tulifikia jana, endelea kusoma na usome zaidi. Video. One more gentleman. Maybe I need to give out another. I have one more. One. That is from Samuel, you answered. No, you're not. Amos, you answered. Joseph Isonga Kiboy. My brother, where are you? Joseph, where are you, my brother? Thank you. The microphone is here and your gift is here. This gentleman is smart, isn't he? Is he not smart? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Now, say hi to your fellow friends. Hi, church. Hi.
Introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself. You know, that makes you have more courage.
From Apangata SDA.
Hawajasikia Joseph. Hawajasikia Joseph. Oh, don't panic. Joseph. Panic.
Jina ni Joseph Isonga from Apangata SDA.
Now, I think the ladies are very happy about you, man. Real for him. Now, Joseph, now I want to ask you one more question because the gift that is here is for you, and I want you to go with it. So, from what we did yesterday. Now, what opportunities? Just give me only two opportunities that are there for you as a youth to grow. That are available within the environment. And you see them here to come. What opportunities are there for you to be able to grow? Just two of them. Sorry? Opportunities for growth. Did we learn that yesterday? Yeah. Please. Any opportunities that you can be able to identify within the environment for you as a youth to grow. Just two of them. This is your gift. Any, I'm not limiting you. Any opportunity that you see as a youth that you can be able to, pick up and run with it, that can enable you to, develop. Number one. Yes. Environmental conservation. Yeah, for him. Please, one more time. Thank you so much. Second one. Cyber security. Thank you so much, Joseph. This is your gift. You can go and use it. Sidio? Asante sana. Thank you. Very sharp man, isn't it? Thank you so much. I'm so happy when you guys actually get what we learned yesterday. Today, I think we have learned quite a lot, but I felt that there is one more topic as youth that we need to learn. But before we commence, please someone can be in a position to read for us one verse from the Bible. Hebrews 13 verse 16. What does it say? Hebrews 13 verse 16. What does it say? Nani amepata hiyo? Kasomea wenzake. Nani amepata kasomea? 13:16. Please take this so that wasikie. What does it say?
But to do good and to communicate, forget not, for with such sacrifices God is well pleased.
Repeat.
But to do good and to communicate, forget not, for with such sacrifices God is well pleased.
And to do good, my verse says, and do not forget to do good and share with others. For with such sacrifices, God is what? God is pleased. Thank you so much, madam. What was your name? Abigail. Abigail. Did I give you a gift? Oh, you're such a lucky. Don't worry, next time I will give you one. So, Abigail, Hebrews 13 verse 16, thank you, Abigail. It says, and do not forget to do good and to share with others. For with such sacrifice, God is pleased.
Tell you how that is it.
So today's sermon is actually on, not sermon really, but our teaching is on seeking economic support from parents. Seeking economic support from parents. Tell you how you can be able to do good. Today we're going to learn about seeking economic support. After all that is said and done, that we want to develop ourselves, we want to do this, we want to do that. But as a youth, you may find yourself in a position that you are not having that resource called money to commence that entrepreneurship journey, to go to school, to acquire that skill. You need finances. So how can you seek economic support from parents or mentors?
Number one,
Before you go actually and seek support, or before you can tell someone, nataka unipatie hii, nataka pesa nifanyie biashara, nataka pesa nifanyie niende shule, nataka pesa niende acquire such and such a skill. Number one, clearly define the goals. Before you commence your journey on seeking support from your guardian, from your parent, from church, from anywhere, the first thing that you should be able to do and do justice for yourself is define your goals. We spoke about development of goals, short-term goals, mid-term goals, and long-term goals. You as a youth or you as an individual, define your goals clearly. Be clear about your needs. Identify why do you need economic support. Why do you need the money? Before even uende kwa mzazi, uende mwambie mimi nataka pesa, nifanyie biashara. Jua, unataka pesa, ndio pesa iko, but pesa ni ya masomo, pesa ni ya shule, pesa ni ya kuacquire skill fulani, pesa ni ya kuinvest pale mahali, because equally when you can have money and you spend it the wrong way. You've seen some people actually being given money and they squander out of it. You go gambling, you go eating carelessly, you go sharing with friends. But if you have a goal, unajua hii pesa nimechukua nataka kuanzisha biashara fulani. So clearly, be clear about your needs, identify what you need, your economic support, the need for your economic support, whether it's education, starting a business, personal development, and then write it down. Once you've identified, this is what I want to do, write it down. Number two, prepare a plan. How did you say that you can be able to prepare a plan? A plan is a strategy. It's a roadmap that enables you to achieve the goals. So how do you prepare a plan? We spoke about that the first thing that you should be able to do, you research and acquire what? Have the information.
research.
All that involves critical thinking and all that, analyzing and evaluating and all that. So you do what you call, in general, we call it research. So research and plan. Develop, what it means is actually you develop a comprehensive plan outlining how the financial support will be utilized, including budgets, Because itakuwa na kitu inaitwa budget, timelines, and goals you aim to achieve with the assistance. So before when you kind of mama, or before when you kind of yule mzazi or your guardian or your financial, have a comprehensive report that summarizes the budget. I need 200,000. I want to do ABC. Of course, the initial stage of set your goal. I want to rear chicken. I have 200,000. I want to rear chicken. Now, this is the time frame that it will entail for me to break even. Kutoka hapa nitaitumia namna hii. So, develop that. Number 3, initiate a conversation. You can't initiate a conversation before you have a plan, before you have a goal. Then initiate conversation. What do we mean by initiating conversation? Initiating conversation is actually you as a youth or as an individual approaching the financial, approaching your mom, approaching your dad, your guardian, anyone you think that can be in a position to finance you. So you initiate a conversation. It can be a verbal conversation or written conversation. Written communication, conversation but written communication.
Unaweza mwandikia,
your financial or your sponsor for majuku. Labda una njia ya kumfikia, lazima communicate on mail. We spoke about communication. You remember that? Spoke about communication. So initiate a conversation, whether it's verbal or written, to your financial. So once you've initiated that conversation, how do you initiate the conversation? Number 1, schedule a meeting. Si wewe ndio unataka kuongea na wewe, it's you to schedule a meeting. Approach your parents or mentors respectively and ask for a specific time to discuss your plan. So, when you're scheduling a meeting, if you're going to your financial, unamwambia, I have ABCD that I want to discuss with you. Can we have a meeting? When are you free? So that we can sit down and discuss about this plan. Maybe on Friday or Saturday. So that is scheduling a meeting. Because they are busy. Yes, amekaa pale na kungoja wewe upelekee hiyo plan yako. So you schedule it. So approach, this shows your seriousness and allows them to prepare for the conversation. Usimpate kama kwa street na mwambie, unajua mimi nataka unipatie 200,000 nataka kuanza biashara. No. For someone to be able to take you serious. Schedule it. And we spoke about you going to a meeting.
that you must have a notebook
and a place to write. That's actually the notebook. That's the place to write. And a pen.
and you press this.
Hata kama ni mama mko naye kwa nyumba, usiama baba, ni baba yako, yes. But usiende umejifunga lessons za baby, unataka ku have a conversation ya yeye ya kusupport kama financial.
No, in a respectful way.
The approach should be what? Proper. Approaching your parent or your guardian or your sponsor. We spoke about communication. How you can be in a position to interact with them. So, the process of initiating a conversation, explain your plan to them. Let them buy your plan. Be now, this is my plan, the roadmap that we say. After the strategies that you say. So once you are going to your sponsor, ni vizuri yeye mwenyewe aelewe. Ukimwambia unataka pesa na haoni njia yenye hiyo pesa itakusaidia, you cannot support you. But explain your plan. I want to do this, at this stage I will do this, at that stage I will do this. Convincing, that is the part of convincing. Wanasema ni kumfanya nini? Ni kumtongoza. Sio? So hili hizo wanasema ni kumtongoza. So explain your plan. Present your proposal confidently. Because I don't know if you know how to prepare a proposal. Unatengeneza proposal. It's a written document saying inataja hizo vitu zote, unataka this, you want this at this specific time, this is the budget, this is the projections, and this is the outcome. So present that proposal to your sponsor, emphasizing how it will align with your future aspiration. Then number 3, the process of also initiating the conversation is you address concerns. Of course, in the middle of the conversation, there will be concerns from your sponsor or from your guardian, with your mentor, your parent. There will be some concerns. What is going to happen? So address those concerns. No, anticipate, be proactive. We spoke about being proactive. Anticipate the questions that your sponsor is likely to ask you. Then address them. So in the middle of the conversation, akitupa hii swali wewe pia unajibu, akitupa hii unajibu. Number 4, show accountability and responsibility. So once you have initiated a conversation, the next step is you show accountability and responsibility.
How do you show that?
Number 1, demonstrate responsibility. Assure your parents or your mentors that you will handle their support responsibly. That your pesa yenye anakupatia huendi kutumia vibaya. Assure them. The only way you can assure them is having that business proposal, that business plan. So develop a business proposal and develop a business plan. Sure, you will be accountable for the funds and provide updates on your progress regularly. If you have been sponsored by your parents or your mentor, they have given you money to commence a business as an entrepreneur, always go back to them regularly, giving them updates on your journey. Where have you reached at some point? After 3 months or after 4 months, do what you call evaluation of your project. And then give feedback to your sponsor. Hii project tulianza namna hii, tumefikia namna hii. Up to this time, these are my purchases, these are my sales. This is how I'm projecting. Naona vile tumefikia hapa, maybe I will break even in the next 2 months. Or natengeneza hasara, lakini this is what I can be in a position to do. The next 2 months to turn this thing around. Also, another form of showing accountability and responsibility, the 2, is to be open to feedback. Ukisharudisha ile feedback, mzazi ama your sponsor atakwambia, hapana, hapa mimi naona hii biashara ufanye namna hii, ama you expand it to this direction. Be open to feedback, not only from your sponsor but even from your colleagues and your peers. Be open to suggestions or modifications to your plan based on their feedback. This will demonstrate willingness to learn and adopt. These are things that you have already done. Not adopt, but adapt. Be flexible. Learn and unlearn. Flexibility is basically learning and unlearning. You unlearn the bad things and you learn new things. Be willing to change, because change is inevitable. The number 5 is express gratitude. Shukuru. Express gratitude. Express gratitude regardless